You're not afraid of being yourself because you lack identity. You're afraid because, at some point in your life, being yourself came with a cost. And here's the part most people never hear. Self-abandonment begins as protection long before it becomes a pattern. It's your nervous system choosing safety over authenticity because, for a while, that was the only option that kept you connected to the people you depended on. Maybe you grew up with unpredictable reactions around you. One day your emotions were tolerated, the next day they were dismissed. So your nervous system learned to read the room instead of listening to your own needs. Maybe you learned that expressing yourself led to embarrassment, criticism, or withdrawal. Or maybe you were praised only when you matched what others wanted. These moments create emotional blueprints that shape your adult behavior more than you realize. Think about this. A child doesn't think, "I should hide my feelings to avoid conflict." A child thinks, "When I hide my feelings, the people I love stay close." And that lesson becomes encoded in the body. Safety becomes linked to invisibility. Belonging becomes linked to silence. Approval becomes linked to self-erasure. And here's the part that catches people off guard. You grow up, but the blueprint stays the same. You sit in a conversation and sense yourself shrinking. You avoid saying what you really think because your heartbeat speeds up at the idea of disappointing someone. You silence your preferences because your body still remembers the threat of losing connection. Now, this next part is important. Self-abandonment is not a conscious choice. It's an automatic response shaped by years of nervous system conditioning. When your body believes authenticity equals danger, it will protect you by shutting down your expression. And the more this happens, the more disconnected you feel. Not because you don't know who you are, but because you've never felt safe enough to be who you are consistently. Most people stop here, assuming this is simply their personality. But this is where I need you to stay with me. Because understanding why your brain fears authenticity is the first step toward reclaiming it. And the part you're about to hear is the piece that explains why the cycle feels so hard to break. Every time you try to show a real part of yourself, something inside you hesitates. It might feel like anxiety, tension, a tightening in your throat, or the sudden urge to stay quiet. This isn't weakness. It's a protective reflex your nervous system learned through repetition. Your brain builds emotional shortcuts based on past experiences. If honesty led to emotional withdrawal, the brain says, "Stay quiet." If vulnerability led to shame, it says, "Hide this." If expressing needs led to conflict, it says, "Don't need anything." Over time, these messages fuse into identity. You begin to mistake your fear for your personality. But fear and personality are not the same thing. Here's the part nobody explains clearly. The nervous system doesn't seek happiness. It seeks familiarity. If being agreeable kept you safe in the past, your body will cling to that pattern even if it hurts your adult life. If minimizing yourself prevented rejection once, your system will repeat it endlessly. Not because it's right, but because it's known. Now there's a second layer most people never recognize. Self-abandonment creates a psychological loop that reinforces itself. The more you hide yourself, the more disconnected you feel. The more disconnected you feel, the harder it becomes to reveal anything real. And the more you suppress, the more you believe the lie that your true self is too much, not enough, or unwanted. Let's ground this with real examples. Imagine you're with a group of people and someone asks what you think. You know your opinion, but your body chooses the safest answer, not the honest one. Or imagine you're starting a new relationship. Everything inside you wants to be authentic, but you notice yourself softening your reactions, laughing politely, agreeing automatically. Not because you're fake, but because the threat of being misunderstood feels bigger than the desire to be known. But here's the deeper truth. These reflexes aren't who you are. They're who you had to be. And anything learned for survival can be unlearned through safety, consistency, and small acts of self-expression. Stay with me. The next part shows exactly how to break the loop without forcing confidence or overwhelming yourself. To stop abandoning yourself, you don't start by trying to be bold. You start by creating internal conditions where authenticity feels safe enough to try. The nervous system only relaxes when experience contradicts fear, gently, repeatedly, and without overwhelming intensity. This means beginning with micro-authenticity, saying one honest sentence instead of the filtered version, allowing a natural reaction to show on your face instead of masking it, expressing a small preference, even something as simple as choosing where you want to sit or what you want to eat. These tiny acts send a message to your system. We can be ourselves and nothing bad happens. And here's the insight most people miss entirely. You don't rebuild your identity by reinventing yourself. You rebuild it by returning to the parts of you that were never given permission to exist. The curiosity you muted, the opinions you softened, the emotional truths you swallowed. When you reclaim these small pieces, your sense of self stops feeling like an empty room and starts feeling like a home again. In relationships, this shift is transformational. You begin choosing people who don't need a watered-down version of you. You stop mistaking peace for silence. You stop calling self-sacrifice love. And slowly, authenticity stops feeling like exposure and starts feeling like belonging. If this helped you understand yourself more deeply, stay. We're going even further into this tomorrow.